Greetings, this is Paul, your Pacific Northwest trail guide. I want to help you pick your next trail to explore, so let's check this one out. Just inside the Boise National Forest, you'll find this sweet little day hike on the Station Creek Trail. It's easy to get to and takes you up to great views of nearby Garden Valley and surrounding hills. Going to the main viewpoint and back is a little over 5 miles, but keep in mind there is an option to add a few miles to your trip by exploring further to Bald Mountain. Even the main hike is a decent workout though, as you'll ascend over 1,600 feet along the way, bringing you up over 4,700 feet of elevation. This hike can be a good one to bring along binoculars to get a better view as you survey Garden Valley or the Payette River from above. Also, when visiting on a hot day in the summer, some protection from the sun is wise to enjoy a break at the top in the exposed meadow comfortably. And last of all, as I mentioned before, there's an optional extra trail to explore, so you might want to plan some extra time for your trip in case you want to explore that. There aren't really signs on the road for this trailhead, but it is very easy to get to. If you're approaching from Boise on Highway 55, you turn onto the Banks Lowman Road and follow it up a canyon along the beautiful Payette River all the way to the trailhead. It is right across the road from a ranger station just outside the Garden Valley area. So if you can make it there, you're set to cross the road and hop on the trail, or easily drive over to the short dirt road and parking area at the trailhead across the road. If you parked at the dirt area across the road from the ranger station, you pick up the trail near this map and follow it up to join with the trail coming from the road where it turns up into the forest. The route to the top of Station Creek Trail and our ending viewpoint takes us first about 0.8 miles along Station Creek, hiking a ways above it, where we then cross it and leave the creek, ascending to a ridgeline which we climb up the rest of the way. I did not see or hear anything of Station Creek on my midsummer trip, but its moisture is apparent in the lush greenery you follow up its gorge. As you make your way up along the creek in the first half mile, you encounter a few unexpected pieces of infrastructure. Various covered manholes hint at some underground drainage system here.
Okay.
Turning away from the creek for a bit, we take a bit sharper ascent before turning back to gradually approach the creek again. If you visit in the spring or fall, this might be a good stretch to keep an eye out for deer and elk who migrate through this area. A couple of small dips in the trail are the only thing to signify this crossing of a dry Station Creek this time of year, and maybe a few wildflowers as well. As you climb up away from the creek bed, you approach a ridge and get a bit of your first view off to the south. Soon after you start up the ridge, a sign greets you to point you in the right direction at a junction with a side trail. The gradual, steady ascent continues as you follow the trail on the ridgeline. At about 2 miles in, you've covered most of the elevation, and the trail levels out for a while, giving you a break. I passed a little shelter in this area that looked cozy. You don't want to lay down and take a nap now, though. You may have covered most of the elevation, but the steepest short stretch of this trail is just ahead. Start ascending again, up through this rocky switchback. Then the trail continues straight again for a steep last leg straight up to the meadow. Okay. Meander on up through the grass to the viewpoint, which is a rather small area at the top of this hill. You can see Bald Mountain sticking up to your right, and Garden Valley off to the left. The trail for the optional trip up to Bald Mountain can be seen heading off in its direction from here. If you choose to head up there, just keep in mind it's not as well defined as the main trail, so it might be more difficult to follow at times. You'll head back the way you came for this in and out hike, so when you're ready to head out, it's time to meander back through the meadow again, this time with some grand Idaho hills filling your view in the distance. Keep on the main trail, and soon you'll be leaving the ridgeline and heading back towards Station Creek. Not a lot of people live in Garden Valley now, but it has a lot to offer people visiting the area for recreation. The small city of Crouch in the Garden Valley area is a nice place you might stop by after the hike for refreshment. This trail rates 2 out of 5 for terrain. The main consideration is that much of the ascent is pretty steep, and the last approach to the viewpoint in particular is not easy. For elements, there is some exposure and the elevation is a bit high, so given those minor considerations, it rates 2. The length and climb are pretty typical for a day hike, and rate an average 3 for both. That's all for this edition of Pacific Northwest Trail Guide. I hope I have or will soon help you pick your next trail to explore. I scouted this trail in August of 2023, but trails are always evolving. If you pick this trail and encounter any changes people might like to know about, please help out your fellow explorers by sharing in the comments on this video. I've shown some of the beautiful sights of this trail in what feeble capacity video can render. A picture may be worth 1,000 words, but an experience with all of your senses cannot even be conveyed in pictures or video. So don't take my word for it. Get out there and see it for yourself.